Hi guys, so today we'll be doing the Python more classes and objects. It's a continuation of the OOP, object oriented programming in Python. So go through these materials and let's go to the quiz. The first question says, what did this line print? And first, we created a class, initialized it with a value, a class attribute, which ID, which is initialized with one. So we changed the class value to 98, and then when we created a new instance of the class and printed the value of that class attribute, we should have 98. So for this second one, what did this line print? We created a new user id equals to 1, and the same thing, but now we created a new instance and gave it 89, and then it said you should print the old one. The old one is still 98, so we're supposed to still have 98. So what does this line print? We have a class user id equals to 1. The user, the an instance of the user class is created. UID is initialized to 89. User.id is 98. That is, the real guy is now 98. And then it said print UID. So this place is a bit tricky. So it could be 98 and it could be 89. So since we are printing UID, I would say let's go with 89 for now. And let's check the answer if it's correct. So it's actually correct. So let's continue. And yeah. So what is the init? It is the instance method called when a class is called, instance method called when a new object is created. When you created a new object, the init is being called. So what did this line print? So we have a user class ID one, user.id that's been changed to 98 here. We created a new instance of user, and then the user.id is now 89. So basically, we're supposed to have 89. Let us check our code so far. We're supposed to have 9 errors. Good. So let's continue and move on. What did this line print? We have ID initialized with 1, u equals to user. We created an instance of user, which means UID will be 1, but UID has been initialized with 89 here, and then we created user.id is now 98. So if we have to create user.id, we still have 98, because yeah. So if we still check, we should have 8 now. So let's continue. We said, what is doc? It is the string documentation of an object based on docstring. So what do this line print? We have it user created user.id will be 1. So we should have 1. And if we check, we should have 6 left. Good. So who, who do this or what did this line print? We have a class user id equals to 1, print user.id, which is still going to be 1. And then let's continue. REPR, which is used to print a string, is a method that returns an official string representation of an instance. Is a method that returns the dictionary representation, method that prints. So it should be this. So let us check. We should have 4 left. Yes. So what does delete do? It deletes an instance. Okay. So instance method that remove the last character. No. Instance method for when an instance is deleted. I think it should be this. Instance method that print the memory. Yes. So it should be that. What does this line print? We have a class user id equals to 1. User equals to, so we created an instance of user.id. The user id is 98 now, and it says let us print the u.id. So u.id should be 98 as well. Let us check that. Good. So we have 2 left. So what is string? This one prints the clean, returns the dictionary, prints the informal, prints returns an informal and nicely printed string representation of an instance. So it the prints an informal that returns an informal and nicely. Is it print or return? I think it should be return. Yes, so this one should be return, not print. And then we have the last one which says what this line prints, and then we have this. We have the user initialized, so an instance of the class user created. User.id has been given 89 and this one should be 89. So let's submit and check output. Okay, it has worked. Let us create a directory. Let me copy this. Make directory, I'll cd into that direction. And create a readme. Okay, good. So the next thing is to create a file for this. So it says write an empty class rectangle that defines a rectangle. You're not allowed to import anymore. So this is a very nice thing to do, very simple. So we just create our Python script because we want to run it as a script. User binary and Python 3. Python 3. And then we have to document it, and it says the rectangle class module. So we leave two spaces and then we say class and then rectangle. And then we document that as well. The rectangle class initialization. Operation. That's initialization. Let's just leave it this way. And then the next thing is let's write pass, and I think that's a basic what's it called, class. So just because it's a script, what's it called? That is 0. What's the name? 0 rectangle, yeah. That's the one executing. Good. So if you do this, why is it taking time to do? So we git add it, git commit. So let me call that one, and then git push. So I'm supposed to do pep 8 bytecode style on the code to see if it's correct, but I believe it should be correct without having any bytecode error. So I'm waiting for it to push so I can check the code to see if it's correct. So it says fail to push, so let me try it again. Mod image gerar teknoloji. Not really easy, noise. Níjọ ẹnìkan stupid person kan ló pè ní WhatsApp ní olúwa pé máa block ẹni mo sọ ìyá àfẹ́ mi ẹ̀jẹ̀ ní block mo ti block wọn nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe dán wọn fún block mo ti mọ̀. Carol is stupid. Okay, Jerry, sorry about the break in transmission. My audio got disconnected, so I had to just reconnect it. So, yes. So basically, that's it. And let me check the code to see if it's correct. All right. So let me continue and ask for correction. So, let's continue. So this one it says write a class based on this. So I will copy this over here. Let me take my audio from here as well. So copy this. So I can copy from 0 to 1. Sorry, to 1. So I'll copy the content inside. So I'll VI into my 1. So it says we should create a class rectangle based on the first one. And it said we should create a private instance attribute with. But first, we need to first create the init for, and it says initialize with option width and height. So we should add this for the init. So create this, and I would remove this pass. Then I would paste the, oh sorry, and I'll paste, oh sorry, paste it from the wrong side. I'll paste it and I'll document it. Instantiation of the class. Make it short, and then I'll say the self dot width equals to width, and the self dot height equals to height. Good. So the next thing is, I think we have a setter and getter for the width and height. So private instance attribute width. Okay, private instance attribute width. It says, let me see. So we have a property for this to retrieve it. So for the width, let's try for the width. And wait, I need to decorate it. So I'll go up and say at property, right? And then I'll document this. The getter for the width. Yes. So the next thing is we return self dot, and it has to be private width, and then we'll create the getter, the setter. You say width dot setter, and then we'll create the what's it called, the prototype for it. Let me just copy this. Yes, and I'll say the setter for the width. Good. So what we'll do is, now width must be an integer, otherwise raise a type error. So you can say if type of what's it called, width is not int, raise a type error with the message width must be an integer. If type of value rather is not width, then it's going to be value. Okay, so good. If the type of value is not an integer, we should raise a type error. Width must be an integer. Where is it? Yes. So if width is less than 0, so you say if the value is less than 0, okay, and then we should raise a value error. What should we say? Width must be greater than or equal to 0. Good. So I think we're good with that, and after that we initialize whatever we're doing. So we say self dot value or self dot width rather is equals to value. Yes, so give the value to the self dot width, so the private one. All right, so basically that's it. So we'll create for the second getter for height. So we say property, and then it is define height, and it takes self, and we'll say the getter for height, and then we say property. Okay, I think that's it, and then we say we should return self dot height, and then we create the setter. We say height dot setter, then we define height, and it will have self and value, and then we'll decorate it and say the setter for height, and then I think it should be if the type as well. Height must be an integer, otherwise there is a type error. So if the type of the value is not int, so you should raise. So we could also say, instead of using this, because we could say if it is not is instance, and then we'll have the value first, and we put int here. So if it is not an integer, so we could raise a type error and say, what's the type error? Height must be an integer. Height must be an integer. Okay, good. So we could also say if height is less than 0, so if the value is less than 0, okay, then we raise a value error. We raise a value error. Raise a value error exception with the message height must be greater than or equal to. Let me just copy this one. All right, good. And then I think we've done this other one, and I think that's it. Then we'll say self dot height equals to the value. So let's run flick 8 on this one. Why is it taking time? Okay, good. So it add it. It's taking time. Git commit. Git push. So let us check the code once it pushes and see if we're correct. Good. So the next thing is, okay, we're checking. Okay, correct. Ask for correction. So the next thing is this one. It says write a class based on this. So what I'll do is I'll first copy this. Sorry, I thought my audio got disconnected. So I'll copy this and paste it here, and then we'll VI into the 2 and see what we need to do there. So good. Let's go back here and see what we've not done. So the first thing is we have to create a class rectangle. We've done private instance for width. I think we've done all this, and then private instance for height. We've done this. We've done this. So we need to create area and perimeter. So public instance method. So it's a public instance method. Remember, we could also have a static method and a class method. But anyway, say O. So let me give it a space here. So we have a public instance method. So we say define area, and it takes in the instance, the self. So public instance method to calculate the area. The area of a rectangle should be length times breadth, I suppose. So we'll just say return, should return the self height multiplied by the self width, and we'll create for the second one as well perimeter, and it collects self as well, which is also a public instance method to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, good. So calculating perimeter of a rectangle is what we do. But before that, we said if width or height is 0, perimeter is equal to 0. So we'll return 0 if the self dot height equals to 0, or self dot width is equals to 0. So we could also pass it down, is equals to 0. We could also make sure that it's an integer. You can make the first one so, or just leave it like that. And I think that's it. If they are both like this, then it should return 0. So if not, then we calculate. Then it should just return. The perimeter should be the width times 2 plus the height times 2. So it's going to be like this, and we say the self dot width times 2 plus the self height times 2. So I think that's it. We are good to go. So say flick it on the second one and to see if you have any errors so far. So let's git add it, git add 2, git add git commit git push. So push it and check our code if you are correct. Okay, so let us test our code and see if we're right. Why is this taking our time? This is taking our time. Maybe we should just move on to the next one. Or is my network disconnected? Okay, it's taking too much of our time. Let's just continue. So we'll move to this guy, and then I'll copy 2, paste 3. I think it's based on 2, right? Good. So this one is still checking, and let's continue. So ls and vi3. So the first thing is we have to do all this, and I think we've done all this. We have to do this, we've done this. We have to do this, we've done this up to this point. So print and str should print the rectangle with the character. So normally if we use the str and then we use print to print the instance of whatever class we get, automatically it prints whatever we defined in str, that is the double underscore str. So that's what we just create underneath this. So create a new function. Good. So we define a string that takes in self, and we'll say the string rep representation of the instance of the object. Okay, so first we said we should print with this character. You should print the rectangle with that character. If the width or height is equal to 0, you should return an empty string. So we'll deal with that first and say if the self dot width is equal to 0 or self dot height is equal to 0, then you should return an empty string. Good. So now we now have to deal with printing the other guy. So what we'll do is we'll create a list. So I'll say the rectangle print, okay, and I'll give it an empty list. Good. So we iterate and says for I in range. So for I in range, okay, for I in range, and then we put the height because we want the loop to go how many times. It's going to be the amount of height times. Okay, so we want the loop to go, maybe the height is 4, we want the loop to print 1 2 3 4 times. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So we say this self dot height. Okay, so we want that to be done. Good. So now that we've know that the width will do this, we just need to now print the hashtag in the number of width times. Okay, so we say we should append everything into this reg print and then print them. So what we'll do is, what is it? Okay, good. So I'll create a square brace here and I'll say the reg print. I think I clicked on WhatsApp mistakenly. Reg print dot append. Okay, so we'll append this hash to it. Why is this thing not setting well? Okay, so we'll append that to it. So it's been added. So we're just saying that we want to print hash for the number of times we have the width for, let's just say, j in range self dot width. So we could do without this append. We could just say you should print hash for this, but we won't use, if we use print we have to remove the new line. Okay, so that would work as well. So it will just keep printing this and then the next situation it will print the next one. Okay, so self dot width, and I think that's it. So we can then, if we look at it very well, I think that's it. So what else? Where is it? Okay, good. So we'll say if our I, right? So if our I is not equal to self dot height minus 1, then you should append a new line. So that's what we do under it. So at the end, you should return the we should return, we should join the rect print. So basically I think this is it so far. So we could test it if we want. Let me see, but it's still long, so let me just leave it. Flake 8 3. Okay. Where is it? 5213 cannot assign attribute to team. Oh, sorry, is equal to not. It has to be this double equal to sign. So git add 3. Though we've not confirmed if this one has worked. It's still loading. Maybe I should just reload the page. Reload the page and see what is wrong. So it's still checking, and let us check for this one as well. So we're supposed to check if it's working though, just to know so we can confirm, because every error we get from the previous one will affect the next one. So I'll just wait and see if it works, and I'll get back to you. Okay, this one worked, and it means the other one should work then. So it has worked. So let's continue and ask for correction. So the next one, eval is magic. So let us continue. For rectangle.py, copy it, and then I'll copy the 3, paste the 4, vi the 4, yes. So what do we need to add here? So I think all this has been done, and now we need to repre should return a string representation of the rectangle to be able to create new instance by using eval. See example below. So yes, so we'll just create this RAPR guy, which is the representation of the module, of the objects rather. So for this one, I would come down here and do the same that we did previously, but in a more different kind of way. So there's a format which we are given to use, and we can check that. Print, let me see. I'm trying to see where it's being used. So this one, print str rectangle, print my rectangle, print. So this is it, RAPR. So 1 2 3, the third one. So 1 2 3. So it printed, instead of this format, it printed rectangle 2 4. Okay, so that's what I want to do. So what we'll do is we'll define, let me put one more space. We'll define a RAPR that takes in self, and is a string representation, which is more of a readable format for developers, right? And then what we'll do is we'll say the rectangle representation is equals to, so we are going to print first rectangle, right? We're going to print this open braces, right? And then would have a string, right? So we can have this. So the next thing that is coming is the value of the self width, right? So we say plus concatenate a string, turn this one to string, and what is it? Self dot width. Okay, so we'll do that, and then I can come to the next line and say rectangle representation plus equals to, that is add to it. So we could add everything in a line, and I will say you should add what? Add comma, because we have comma here, and then a space, comma and a space, and then concatenate it with a string and self dot height, and I think that's all. Then we'll still concatenate it with the ending curly braces, which has this and has this, and I think that is it. And then we'll return the rectangle representation, and I think that is it. So if you do flip 8 on 4, I guess we should, okay, blank line contain white space at missing white space and operator. So we have 61 1, 64 3. So here we have blank line. What's something around operator? 64 32. Okay, I thought it's 3. I wanted to say there's nothing at 64 3. So let's see. Okay, maybe there needs to be a blank line here around operator. So I think that should do. Wait, blank line contain white space 61 1. Oh, there's still white space there. Oh, there is. So we add the 4. So we check our code if it's correct once it pushes. So let's take. Okay, and then it says create. Okay, based on this, so we'll copy this guy, and then ls, and then I would say let me put this one on the floor. Copy 4 to this. So vi5, and what do we need to do in 5? Now we've done all this up to this point. We've done this. We've done this. So the next one is print a bi-rectangle bin 3 dots, not ellipses, with an instance of rectangle when an instance is deleted. So we'll use the delete for that, the delete method. Use a method that comes with OOP in Python. Let me put a new line here. So define del, which will take self, and called when an object is deleted, and it is just to return or to return a string called by rectangle with ellipsis. By rectangle 1 to 3. I hope I'm correct. So let us add it. So let us check if we're correct. Okay, we're not correct yet. So vi let us test the code to see what's going on actually. So this one is 5main.py, and I'll copy up to this. Copy. Oh, sorry. Five main.py. Okay. chmod 7555 main.py. Run 5 main.py. Name. Okay, so we have an error. Okay, I think that's fine. We have area, but by rectangle is not being printed. So, oh, sorry, it's not being printed. So let us vi5 rectangle. So what if instead of using return, use print? So what's going on? Define delete self. Print by rectangle. Why is it not working? I'm checking it and it's not working. Why is it not working? It's supposed to work. Okay, it's printing by rectangle. It printed it here. I was the one that was not seeing it. It printed it. Where is the first time I executed it? It says my rectangle is not defined. But here it says by rectangle. So that we have to use the print command. So flick 8 5 5 rectangle, sorry. We add 5 rectangle. It's on it. 5 big push. So we can check on it now once it's pushed. Okay, it worked now. So we are supposed to print, not return. So the next one is 6, and I think that will be based on 5. Yes, based on 5. So ls and copy 5 rectangle, paste 6, and then read into 6. So what do we need to do here? We've done all this up to this. Um, what else? I think we've done this. Private, yes, we've done this. Public class. So public class attributes. We are going to have a public class attribute called number of instances and initialize to zero. So that will be at the top here, at the top after this. So let me put more space and insert, sorry, yes, and this, and I will initialize it to zero. So I think that's that. And say increment during each new instance. So we increment it down here. Okay. So we'll say after each guy would increment it, and we say uh there's a shortcut to this, but I think another way is say self dot the class double underscore dot, and then number of instances, then increment it by 1 plus equals to 1. So I think that's it after each instances. Decrement during each instance deletion. So we'll go down and decrement it. So the same thing here, I'll just copy this one and I'll go to the end. So before we print by, or maybe after we print it anyway. So I'll just paste this here, delete it empty, and then this one will now be minus equals to. So I think that's basically that. And instantation with option with blah blah blah. I think basically that's it. Hey, what did I just do? This one minus. Okay, so let it push and let's check. So it worked, and let's go to the next one. So how many do we have left? Still have one advanced here. Let me unlock the advanced. So we still have number 9, I think 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 4 left. For 7. So this one I would say write a class rectangle that defines a rectangle based on 6. So I'll copy this guy. I think we are printing here. So I'll copy 6 and paste 7 and VI 7. Good. So what are we adding here? So it says this. I think we've done this. We've done this. Yes, we've done this. A public class attribute again called print symbol. So we'll have this guy, print symbol, initialize with hash. So I'll come here and come here, paste it, and initialize it with this. Okay. So hash, is it a string or a normal hash? I think it should be string. Yes, I think it should be something like this because it's a character, not a number. So use a symbol for string representation. Can be any type. Okay, they say it can be any type anyway. So instantation with this, we've done this, we've done this. Print symbol if length or height is equal to 0. Okay, so the print symbol Um, is this for the prints? Okay, I think this one is that. We've done this. We've done this. I think that's all. I think that's all we're doing to this one because I'm trying to see. Um, Perimeter. If the width is 0.0, print should print rectangle character. The print symbol. If we divide it, it will return an empty string. So I think that's all. Let's check. Let's check. Okay, I think that's not all. So I was wondering because we have Seize Funny and we don't have previously. So there's something going on that we're not doing. Uh, okay, let's see. Let's see. So private, public print symbol. Use as symbol for string representation. For string representation. So I think we're going to the string representation to symbolize the string to represent it. Hmm. I'm trying to see where we're gonna add something here. Area perimeter. Let me see. Let me check again to just be sure it's not there before. Because I'm trying to see what's missing, what we're supposed to do here. Okay, it's not me. So let's see. Uh, Property define width, height, public instance documents used as a symbol for string representation can be any type. Distinguishing with width, define area. So I can't find what we're supposed to do here though. Trying to see this is the only thing I see, and I think we've done that. Use as a symbol for representation for string representation. Hmm. Do we need to use this print symbol somewhere in our code to print? Let me just ask for correction and see if something will help. I think we're supposed to. Okay, I think I get what we're supposed to do now. VI into 7, which is what I was thinking. So we'll go to the string, and at this point, so we are appending this guy. So I will just say append. Instead of hash, it's going to be whatever symbol we've specified there. So we'll just say it should append self.print my. So it should append self dot print symbol. Since it can be any guy, so I'll just make sure I change the type to string. So it's going to print print symbol for j in range. Is this more than 80 something? 82, good. So we'll have this, and if I is not this, append new line. I think this is fine. For this one, are we appending nothing? Okay, good. Okay. Where is it? 7 main py. Let me test it. Okay, I think we're good now. You add 7 rectangle, hit commit, and then we'll push it. It hasn't pushed though. It hasn't pushed yet, so it's not going to work yet. So we have 8, 9, and 10, I guess. So we have 3 left, and we're done with this. So this one hasn't pushed. I think my network is messing with it. So anyway, let me continue. And this one is based on 7. So 8 is based on 7. So copy 8. And then vi7. Oh, sorry. Copy 7, paste it into 8. Sorry. Okay, let me go back to that one, because your previous one has to check before you move on though. So what else are we adding here now? Let's check this. Okay, this one didn't check up to. Okay, so it's pep8 that is 40. I hope it's not the return. Wait, this is not bringing what. Let's ask for no correction. It's not the updated correction. So it's too long, right? It's supposed to be too long. 81 is less than, it has to be less than 79. So vi into 7, that's what I was talking about. 7 rectangle. Your previous one has to be, so I think it's this one that is too long, and then we'll just need to break it down. So I would say I'll break it where at this 4. I think it's better here. Take that, and let me put it here. Let me see if it works with flip. 8, 7 rectangle, over indented. I think it should be this. Let's try this. Under indented. Okay, it worked. So git add 7 rectangle, git commit 7, git push. So let us check our code to see if we are correct. So it's correct now. So I will paste what I do. Copy 7 rectangle into 8. VI 8. Okay, I think we're good. Now, write a class rectangle that defines a rectangle based on this. So I think we've done this. Private instant attributes, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. So installation with option, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, and we've done this. Print by, we've done this. So we have a static method. Static method are method that they don't use the instances, like they are just the standalone methods. So we have a static method here, and that's what we are adding. So I'll add the static method before the printing, before we start printing. So I'll add it here after the perimeter. I think it will be more readable, and I'll define it. So we have a decorator called static method for it to know it's a static method. Then we'll create it, define bigger or equal. So this one would use it collects two objects, the first object and the second object, to compare both, right? So this is a static method, returns the biggest rectangle. So let me remove that. Oh. Good. So now we want to define it. So I returns the biggest based on the area. So we want to compare the area. So rectangle 1 must be an instance of rectangle, otherwise a type error. Okay. So this is what we do. So we can use if not is instance, and then the rectangle 1 is not an instance of rectangle. Okay, then it should raise a type error with each message. Rectangle 1 must be an instance of rectangle. So we'll copy this and paste it there. I hope it's not more than okay. I think it's okay. We'll check for rectangle 2 and say, let me copy it and where am I? Paste it. And if not, is instance rectangle 2, raise that rectangle 2 must be an instance of rectangle. So I think that's it, and then we'll go to the next line. So if the rectangle, both are the same value, so return rectangle 1. So if rectangle 1 area is greater than or equal to, because we want to return rectangle 1 even if it is equal to rectangle 2 dot area, then it should return rectangle 1. Or it should just return rectangle 2. So I think that's it, and let me just git add it though. 8, right? Let me do fake 8 on 8. Know if we are good or not. Undefined name rectangle 1. Okay, I think I didn't spell it well. Where is it? Rect. Yeah. Okay, good. So git add it again. Git commit. Git commit, git push. So push it and see if we're correct. So while that one is loading, let's create the last one, or the last compulsory one. Oh, sorry. Okay. Has it worked? Okay, I think it has worked. Yes. So the last one, let's vi into 9. So what are we supposed to do? I think we've created all this to this point, to this point. We've created this height. Yes, we've created this and this. We've created this to this point. We've created this static method, and we've created up to this point. So now it's a class method which make use of the class. So we've been given it, and if you notice that it doesn't take self, it takes this class itself as a parameter. So so we're gonna have class method. So I'll put it under the static method. So at class, we have to decorate it too. Method, paste this a class method, and then what is the class method? I would say what is it? That returns a new rectangle instance with width, height, and size. So it will return a new rectangle instance with width which is equals to height and which is equals to size. So what we do is just say return, put a space, and then I'll say we should return size, comma size. So a size is being given, right? But the size has to be the width and the height. So that's what we're doing. So we are giving this size, and then it has to be that. But the next thing is we have to decorate it or make it a class attribute, which is CLS. Do CLS and then comma this and this. So I think with that we are good. Let me just give this space and flick 8, 9. So we have 9. Git commit, and now push it. and test our code. So we are good, and then let's do the last one, which is this. So this one I think is not OOP, and it's something else. So it says chess master Judith blah blah blah. Um, so we had to solve a n quiz puzzle in the challenge of placing n non-attack points of this blah 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 blah. Blah. So first I will copy the file name 101 Queen. It's a very long code, so I would solve it, paste the code, and share the explanation with you guys. So let me just make so vi 100 so user binary python 3, and then we document. So I'm going to pause it, solve it, and then I would explain to you guys. We are back to it. Yes, so I have the code already written here, and this is the solution to it. So I import C's, and then we defined init board, and then we have it. We created an empty list, we created a loop, and so on, and we created these instances also. So basically this is it, and I would make the code available because it's too long and the video is getting too kind of long. So I'm going to make a separate video explaining this because I want it to, it's going to take probably like 30 minutes explaining this. So the code will be available on this GitHub, so I'll put the link on the description for this particular code so you can go through it. But basically what we're doing is we are creating this init board. This init board. So so sorry for the inconveniences, and yeah, I need to really go now, and yeah, I'll see you. So basically that's it, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay.